right. Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. But you know what I'm saying? The so-called white man cannot control the narrative anymore. The truth is out, and it's just gonna continue to grow more and more, right? So the so-called white man, Esau Edom, has been able to keep a control the narrative on the so-called UFOs, right? And it was a time that even talking about so-called UFOs was considered to be a conspiracy theorist, right? We know that term came from the alphabet boys, right? That term conspiracy theory, right? And they can't control the narrative anymore because so-called UFOs is biblical, and it's something that our people know. They don't have any idea about this knowledge because they haven't been learning nothing in a Christian church besides hooping and hollering. And the so-called Christian pastor, it shows you the failure of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Christian church. All right, so I'm gonna read this title. And now so many videos overwhelming the internet that the Edomites trying to get in front of this so-called UFO. These are chariots from the Lord. And that word chariot is a buzzword that, the best way that we can explain it to you, because that's the terminology used in the scripture, right? And a chariot is a vehicle, right? If you go into the definition, I might get into that. But a chariot is a vehicle, like you got a car that you travel in. The angels from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua travel in these earth in supernatural vehicles called, in today's terminology, UFOs, right? In the back of the biblical terminology, they call chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? And a chariot, when you go to the definition of it, is a vehicle. It's a way you travel, right? It was used for warfare, transportation, etc. So sticking on subject, U.S. Congress hearing of UFO drops bombshell. Witnesses testify about secret footage of a white orb. And me personally, maybe about 2 years ago, I saw, me and my blood brother, he and the truth with me, we saw a chariot of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was like pulsating. It was red. I mean, saw him on our own eyes, some that wasn't from this earth, right? And I knew what it was when I saw it. So I'm gonna get into this video. I'm gonna play about maybe a minute or so of it.
I think that what the American people need to know is that the U.S. military and intelligence community are sitting on a huge amount of visual and other information, still photos, video photos, other sensor information, and they have for a very long time.
Of course, the so-called white man, your upper echelon of the government and the ruling class elites already know about these angels that travel in these vehicles called so-called UFOs. They already know about it. You just don't know. And it was a long time that when you would talk about this, they'll look at you like you're crazy. Now your own government, right, Jake, is coming out and telling you that they got shit that you don't know about in this so-called UFOs. And now, you know what I'm saying, we kind of been vindicated on that because we've been saying this for a long time, starting at the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, right? That these are angels that travel in these vehicles and they can do anything that you can imagine, even things that you can't imagine.
And it's not those fuzzy photos and videos that we've been given. There's very clear,
high
resolution.
How many visuals, graphics, videos, photos?
I mean, I've been told hundreds, maybe thousands. I mean, I also wanted to say, because there was some conversation around concern around the revealing of these materials, revealing the source collections, but some of these are shot from helicopters.
Yeah, I've posted a multitude of videos on my channel showing you the proof, right? The receipts. And we seeing, I've saw, from the videos that I've posted on my channel, so-called UFOs do things that can't be explained, right? That they can't be comprehended, right? And this is to kill the naysayers, right? Doubt, to let you know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is monitoring his earth. He's doing judgments. They are doing all kind of things that you can't comprehend. And this we're constantly being watched. So that's why you got to watch what you do and how you do things, right? Because the judgment is always lurking, right? So these these Edomites are still trying to control the narrative because they's giving you just a little bit of information, right? Just a little bit of information to keep you still lost, right? This is covered in the scriptures. Let me play a little bit more of this, then I'm gonna get into these some precepts. Right, so UFOs over U.S. military sites. Congress unveils shocking evidence. And we, you know what I'm saying, it's getting ready to go down. You know, Donald Trump is not going to save America, right? It's finished. Prophecy is going to go ahead and take, you know, continue to take, play out, right? You know what I'm saying? Check this out. It says secret 13-minute UFO video off Kuwait coast revealed. So, and this, look how they got it designed, right? This is what we've been telling you, Jake, right? Maybe some of you Jakes will wake up. You brothers and you sisters already know what time it is. We know those so-called UFOs do many different tasks. And one of the tasks that's going into prophecy is they're gonna deliver the elect up out of here. We're gonna get beamed up, if you can believe that or not, right? And they're gonna help destroy America along with the nuclear missiles. Give me 1 second. Like you saw in the movie, if you ever saw the movie Independence Day, I advise you when that there was a scene in the movie when UFO hovered across this building. I think it was in New York somewhere, and they was on top of a rooftop and they was having like a party or whatever, celebrating the so-called aliens, as they say. But this thing opened up and it shot a beam of light and destroyed everything, right? That's what you're gonna see, right, in this coming destruction. So let's go here. And you know, it's in the Bible. Again, you got to come off the low level that you've been taught. Jake is such on a low level that some of our people are just unteachable, right? They mind is such on a low level, they can't comprehend anything, you know what I'm saying, more than what they've been taught. Zechariah 5:2. And he said unto me, with what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Right? So Zechariah, matter of fact, let's go to 1. Let's go to verse 1. I mean, verse 1, Salakia. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roe. Zechariah, you know what I'm saying? So let's keep going because I got a lot to get to. And what the so-called white man has done too, before we continue, they gave you in this presentation, right? What is in these vehicles, right? They gave you this and mess your mind up, right? So this is what Jake and most of you so-called Americans think when you hear UFOs and aliens, right? This is the visual that comes up in people's mind. But this came from, let's go here. It says little green men right here. It says little green men is a stereotypical portrayal of extraterrestrials as humanoid creatures with green skin and sometimes with antenna on their heads. The term also sometimes used to describe gremlins, mythical creatures said to cause problems in airplanes and mechanical devices. Although there have been references to small green colored men or children going back much farther, the term little green men came into popular usage in reference to aliens during the reports of the flying saucers in 1950s. In one classic case, well, you get it, you can do your own research, but yeah, this 1950s, this is how they, one of the ways that they popularized this, but they wanted to implant this image in your head, right? So they can control the narrative of what these are. But if you know the truth, angels traveling in those vehicles, right? The angels, don't, let me say it like this, angels will have a different look to them, right? Could it be some stuff that looks like this, demons or whatever, that we don't know? But we know that this imagery right here, right, is to throw you off, right? Again, you know what I'm saying? And there was a video came out that this Edomite, I want to make sure I get this correct, Edomite man or woman, that, you know, a book or whatever. I have to go back and dig the information up. We cover a lot of stuff, but it's she, you know, one of them said they saw so-called black men in those UFOs. So angels that look like us in some cases. There's still a lot of mystery dealing with the spiritual realm, but you have angels that travel in those so-called UFOs, and some of them come in the fashion of as a man, right? So-called black men, so-called Hispanic men, so on and so forth, right? So Ezekiel chapter 1 at verse 4, it says, I looked and saw a windstorm coming out of the north. It says, an immense cloud with flashing, lighting, and surrounded by a brilliant light. It says the center of the fire looked, and this is the NIV version. It says the center of the fire looked like glowing metal fire. And in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures, right? So, and it's even giving you the description. It says 6, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. 7, their legs were straight. Their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed with burnished bronze. That's brown skinned, man. So-called black men, right? Under their wings. So it's giving you a description, and some of this is coded, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother lesson I will have to go into. But it's not in the fashion of which you've been presented, right? These angels are powerful angels. You know, a lot of times they're very tall, and they come in all might and strength and power. They're not gonna be no feeble looking little green man. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. So let's keep going. Let's go here. And that just common sense, Jake. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to 2 Kings. This is, and I want to make this point as well too. In the scriptures, a lot of times when it's talking about so-called UFOs, it will call it a cloud, right? That's another thing that you have to understand, right? That's code language. Like they use UFO term today to describe what they're seeing. Back then, it's the same thing. There's just ancient terminology to describe what they were seeing. I'm gonna give you an example right here. 2 Kings 2 and 11. It says, and it came to pass as they went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, right? Like you saw in the movie Independence Day when that chariot was coming into the atmosphere, right? It was fire all around it, right? And horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, meaning to the sky, right? He was beamed up. Let me show you something. All right, so this is a whirlwind. When you go into a whirlwind, look the word up. It says tornado. So remember, the prophets would use ancient terminology to describe what they were seeing at that time, right? So the word tornado was not used, but that's what he was trying to explain. He was trying to explain this right here I'm going to show you. So you see how this chariot is beaming down, and it looks like it's like a tornado, right? Like that extension coming down from the base of the chariot, the bottom of it, all the way down to the ground. It would look something like this, right? You see what I'm saying? Right? So the prophets would use the terminology, the terms, the words that they knew at that time to explain what they were seeing at that time, if you understand what I'm saying. Like today, we wouldn't use that terminology. We'll use a beam, you know, like got beamed up, like a tornado looking beam, right? And you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? But running out of time, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakat Wadash. Shalom.